Hello again and welcome back to another video. Now in front of me here is a phone that is from China, of course. However, this one's a little bit different. It kind of looks like a Huawei, or however you pronounce it, I'm sorry. I'm not too sure which model because I don't really keep up with them. But we have this one here. Now you can buy this smartphone for $51 US, I think, which is like $74 Australian. But is it any good? That's what we want to know. Is this any good? So, basic premise of the phone. It's a 5.5-inch smartphone, and to be honest, looks quite nice. And it's very, very difficult to see, but this smartphone actually has a sort of a curved sort of thing for its LCD. There we go. See, you can see it, it's kind of curved. I mean, it's not curved by much, but still, it's something. Followed by a micro USB and a headphone jack. Nice headphone jack. Volume rockers, power button, dual speakers, but these are wrong. I'll show you in a second. And at the front here we have an LED flash, front camera, and the earpiece as per usual. On the back of the phone we have a camera and it looks like a dual LED flash, but it's just one LED flash with a little cover over it that makes it look like two. First glance, there's no branding on this whatsoever. So if you were to get this just like this, you don't know what it is. So let's have a closer look. And inside the phone here, we can see the 2200 milliamp hour battery, which sort of reminds me of a Samsung battery, just with this green strip thing. That's wrong, obviously. Full-size SIM card and a micro SIM you can put in here, and it comes with a 4 gig micro SD card, which I don't know what's on this because it came with the phone. Date code on this is 2016, so it's a kind of relatively new smartphone, sort of. Underneath the battery we can see part of the cheapness. This is a mobile phone. Let that sink in just a little bit. It's a mobile phone with a model of N730. That's about it, as generic as it can get. But still, we don't know what this phone is. All we know is that it's an N730, and that's it. But if we look closer, we can see that there's a little sticker that says Expo. I wonder if this means anything. Also, your dual speakers are a lie. It has cutouts for two, but there's only one present. Sad. So now that the battery's installed, let's go ahead and power this phone on. So even though this is a budget smartphone, its build quality it's hit and miss. It's got this sort of the curved edges for the screen, capacitive buttons there. Overall, the build quality isn't terrible. Like, it's plasticky and stuff, but I've seen a lot worse. Put it that way. So now the fun begins. Let's power this thing on. Oh, now doesn't that look like it's ripping off something? I might put a little image just here to showcase that it's not ripping off anything at all. Still not convinced it's ripping off anything? Okay, fair enough. Now, after walking around the block several times and waiting for this thing to boot, it's finally booted. So let's have a look and see what it's like. And here is Android. Not too sure what version it is. I can't really remember. Looks like a lollipop, I would say. But it's pretty much a stock version of Android. There's not too many apps that are installed that are bloatware or anything like that, so it's not too bad. But let's have a look at the interesting features it does come with. So how responsive is it? Responds quite well. Looks and feels a bit snappy. I can't remember the specs of it, so we'll have to dive a little deeper into that. But let's have a look at the installed applications first. Backup and restore. Just a little backup app, nothing special. Browser, is this Chrome or nope? This is just a regular browser. Oh, we've seen this before, haven't we? Calculator, yep, basic as ever. Calendar, basic. Camera, we will come back and test that. Clock, downloads, email. Look, it's all pretty much. Actually, music, I just want to say, why is Lady Gaga on here? It's not my song, I promise. It does have Opera Mini on it. I don't know what benefits of Opera Mini on mobile would have, but yeah, it's not connected to Wi-Fi, we'll get to that. It does have the Play Store, torch. You can enable flash sim toolkit, and there's WhatsApp on there. I don't even know what that is. Some sort of messenger thing used in China, I think. I have no idea. Anyways, let's go into settings and see what it says. So we know that this phone is an Expo N730, but do we get to see anything else? We'll have to have a look. I'm now connected to my Wi-Fi network, so let's have a look and see what's in settings. Audio profiles. What the hell is that? Best Orden. Okay. For earphone. Display. Yep. Usual stuff. Storage. What does it say? 2 gig SD card. That's my storage. Phone storage is 8 gig, it reckons. We'll see about that. And in about phone. Okay. So, we know it's an 06, so it's an Expo 06 N730, so that's what this video will be titled, but I'm sure you've already seen that by now. Android version 6, build number, yada yada. Now, is it actually Android 6? It should be Marshmallow. Lollipop. Yay. System updates. Let's see if anything comes up. I've never gotten any OTA updates on these sort of generic phones. Wireless update. Oh, okay, this looks different. Yeah, of course, it's up to date. So for starters, Google Chrome isn't installed. I don't know why it's not installed. It should be by default, unless they just opted for Opera Mini instead. But even so, Chrome usually comes default with stock sort of Android applications. I don't know. So after using it for a few minutes, it's quite snappy, I'll say that. It doesn't seem to sort of lag or do anything unusual, and the UI is it's quite usable to me. But I think the best test here is to see what specs are running under this. Now, I sort of have an idea because I just looked it up, but we'll see if it actually says what it's supposed to say. Right, so we have Antutu and CPU-Z installed. Now, there was one thing I forgot, and obviously it takes forever to boot up when multi-touch. Oh well. Rear camera is 5 megapixel, while the front one is 2 megapixels, so that's technically what it should be. Android, what? 4.4. Okay, so what Android is it running then? Because it came up with Lollipop in the settings. It says 6, but then the SDK version is 4.4. What? Maybe that's kind of why it explains why Google Chrome isn't installed. I don't know. This is looking a little bit better. MediaTek MT6580, 1 GHz, 4 cores, 4 inches. That's wrong. It's a 5.5 inch display. Total RAM is 1 gig. I have a feeling that that's wrong, but we'll keep having a look. Internal storage still says 8 gig. We don't have root access. Still Android 6, it reckons. Failsafe method. Let's try the last CPU spec application. Okay, since the other one didn't install, let's try this one. Helps bootloader. Yeah. MT6572, Android version 4.4.2. Okay, there we go. That's what it's running. But why does it have the Lollipop thing in there? Oh my god, okay. It doesn't even know what it is. Oh, okay, so it's a dual core. Memory, we have total internal memory is 2.5 gig. Used internal memory is 297. Available internal memory, 2.292 gigs. So it's probably got a 4 gig ROM in it. RAM, 512 meg of RAM. Typical. So yes, we have only a dual core, 512 meg of RAM, and the GPU is a Mali 400MP. Okay, so it doesn't say what the back camera is, but the front camera appears to be, yes, a 2 megapixel, let's just say, camera. So there you go. This phone is a bit of a mishmash of certain things. It's kind of like, well, it's a dual core, and then it's a quad core, it's Android 6, it's Android 4, it's all over the place, but I'll list the specs at the end. Let's go ahead and try the camera. And before we begin the test of the camera, it reckons that it's only 4 megapixels for the rear camera, so obviously 4 for the back and 2 for the front. Okay, so this is video quality at the fine level, so this is the best quality we're going to get. It doesn't seem to want to autofocus. Nope, no autofocus. So I wonder what this will look like. So trying the camera, not too sure. We'll have to wait until I edit this and see what it looks like, but I'll go ahead and probably say it looks like utter garbage. Now I think the next thing we'll do is test the speaker. So the speaker is pretty clear, although it's not that loud. There's probably equalizer settings, I think. Sound effects. Okay, let's just pump everything up. I can't tell the difference, can you? Nope. Although it's very hard to see on camera, you can see that the LCD isn't of the best quality. I mean, it looks okay. Any sorts of brightness or anything, you can start to see the pixels. Yeah, you can start to see. It's not that clear, but it is low resolution, so what do you expect? So what do we think of the Expo phone? Or Expo phone, whatever we want to call it. It's an alright phone, it's slow at times. The specs are a little bit underwhelming, unfortunately. They're not the greatest, but look, it does work, but I think it's because it's running an older version of Android that it works so well. I actually bought this secondhand for $30 at a pawn shop, so that's how I got my hands on this, so no box, unfortunately, because that would have been really funny to have a look at. Anyways, if you want to have a look at specs, they are right over here. That's pretty much it. There's nothing much else to really talk about. It's a generic phone from China. That's all we can really say. At least it's sort of not a clone. I mean, unless the phone does look like some Huawei, which I'm not too sure. Please tell me in the comments if it does. You could buy this phone. I will always put the links in the description so you can purchase this if you want to. I hope you enjoyed this video, just having a look at this Expo 06 N730 mobile phone. And that's it from me, so I guess we'll see you in the next video. But just one last message from our Xbox phone. Sorry, did I call it an Xbox phone? Oh. Expo, sorry. Expo. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this video, feel free to leave a like or a dislike if you didn't. Comment below if you would like to see more content like this. We'll see you in the next one.